Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just put up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you need to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need it.
One drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to say is brought to you by Camo Dumpsters. This is a great company that I got going on up in Tennessee. Trying to make my way towards Atlanta and spread my cross around the world. But again, I got to start one place and I got to delegate everything to make sure the quality is where I need it to be. So please, just know I'm coming. I'm working on a lot of things to make it nice when I get to you.
Yeah.
One of them is customer service, okay? I really feel like that's hurting this industry, regardless of what's going on in this world. Just know it's no reason to disrespect anyone at any time.
Right.
So I'm not going to tolerate it. So give us a call and you'll find out what we're trying to do better over here at Camo Downstairs.
Sure.
Now, I got to get back to y'all with this person that comes in, this bad boy, each and every time. Craftmatic has a smile that you just don't understand, but I'm going to tell you, this is the man. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Doing good, Jay. Everything's lovely, bro.
I tell you, man, I just love the way that you stay ready. No matter when I call you and I say anything to you, you ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I give you a topic, a subject, you firing off. I mean, the energy level you have, man, I promise you, if anybody knew you, they'd say, man, that is magnifying. It just draws you in.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Jay. I appreciate that, man. I work hard at it, bro. I do a lot of prayer. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of, kind of meditation type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, it takes a lot to keep yourself cleansed, with positive energy and moving forward and progress in your life. So it's glad to see that, somebody else recognizes it. So I'm really grateful for that, man.
Your work shows, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. All the traveling back and forth, man. I got to come back from Tennessee from time to time to do this. I can tell you, it wears on me, but one thing I have to say is I love it.
Okay.
I love what I do from there to here. And I really push people to have a purpose. Because when you have purpose, then it pushes you when you don't even want to do it.
Yes.
You'll do it.
Yes.
Then I'm able to reach people and I'm able to talk to folks. I'm really to make this show be about the people. My dream is to be able to connect.
Yes.
I like to stay connected with the folks and give them some quality that I feel like sometimes we lose it.
Yeah.
So that right there is why my drive and my happiness. And I inject happiness. I'm not always, but I inject it because I love what I do.
Yeah.
That's why I stay happy. Not always smiling like you, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
All right.
A great way to start our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a fabulous dialogue. Tonight, we've got a couple of unique words per show. And this show, we're going to talk about empathy and encouragement.
Okay.
And let's see what we can pull out of that.
Definitely.
We want this show to always be kind of liberating to your spirit. Open your chakras, open your mind, get you focused, get you fired up. And so as we talk through these ideas, we want you to make some clear and cut decisions for your future and for your life and how you're going to handle these particular areas that we talk about. Okay. And so, again, Jay and I are just trying to be leaders here in our community. So we hope this is something that's good for your spirit.
Yes.
We always start the show off with a prayer. And of course, Jay, did you want to pray for us?
Man, I ain't got nothing this time, bro. I'm going to let you go ahead and knock him over the head.
Okay. Well, let's hand it over to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you tonight for being God.
Yes.
Thank you for being our power, our center, our truth, our love, our protector. And we ask tonight, Heavenly Father, that you would inspire us in these words that we're going to discuss tonight. We're asking Lord to understand empathy in a way that we've never understood it before. We're asking to understand encouragement like we've never seen it before. We're asking, Father, that you would inspire our minds to take action in a new direction, in a new power, with a new strength, with a new, dynamic creation of life in both empathy and encouragement. Give us wisdom, give us understanding and intelligence tonight. You said the beginning of all knowledge is to seek wisdom and understanding. And we are seeking tonight. We ask that you would inspire us on high. Be here in this show, do your good and perfect work, and speak your love and truth. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Oh, you did that one.
Amen.
You did that one.
Amen.
Start calling you Pastor Craft.
Yeah. But I got a heap of names. I'm trying to be Coach Craft. But, you know what I mean?
Pastor Craft.
Yeah. And boy, I hadn't even started, man. I got hours and hours of prayer in me like that. Lots of material to be created for the world to listen to, if I were to do 100 of those prayers like that and put them in a place where people could come and just get nurtured, I believe people would come and get nurtured.
I believe they would too.
I believe it would come because what's ultimately happening in the world, Jay, is that the world's moving so fast that we don't even know the thoughts to think to create the life that we want. And sometimes we need help. And when you have a place like, this place that I'm discussing, Minecraft, you come and you listen to some prayers and it just inspires you. And you might need 2 or 3 different ones a day. You might need something to inspire you on a daily basis or a moment basis. Something frustrates you. You go and push the button of frustration and get a prayer on frustration. Something, makes you sad. You go and push the sad button and you get a prayer that helps you overcome sadness. People need an opportunity to hear a new way to pray and a new way to kind of claw at the goodness of life. And so I'm just encouraging folks to stay focused on your prayer life. Your prayer life is your biggest power, your best friend, and it will do phenomenal things for you if you will stay focused on the process.
Right.
And the process is you got to speak the words for which you want to experience in your life. That's the way our lives work. It is, I call it consciousness, but it's really just the universal way. What we think about all day, every day is what we will become. What we, if we have a little bitty desire, then we're going to have a little bitty outcome. If we have a big desire and a passionate, burning fire desire for something to have in your life, then more than likely you'll have the tenacity and the intensity and all that goes with that in order to see it through and get it. And so we got to become stronger in our minds. We got to become stronger in our spirits. We have to become stronger in our own life. And I think we're going to talk a lot about that during this subject tonight. Empathy and encouragement. Where would you like to start, Jake?
Oh, man. Let me tell you, I use it in both places. I try to use it at the job first. So I'm going to go with away from relationship. We're going to go with work. Empathy and work helps you a lot because a lot of times you get caught up in your own feelings. And when these things happen, because again, I have a lot of stuff that happens fast.
Right.
Okay. And then I have to make decisions. My job is to make a thorough decision and a fast decision on the spot a lot of the times. So a lot of times I have to get out of my feelings. And I actually have to look into that person to see if there's any corrections that can be done.
Right.
And that's the empathy side of not just hearing the facts that they did something and then trying to punish them.
Right.
When I really feel like I need to be sympathetic and I need to see what was going on with them.
Right.
How was they? What was, is this a person that normally acts this way? My whole thing is I should know my people. By me at least knowing them, I can show more empathy and sympathy by understanding the knowledge of what I know, how they've been behaving compared to that accident or that incident that now I'm judging.
Right.
And I really feel like I have to make a judgment call, but I want to get the facts. And a lot of times I get caught up. I know this person got family. I know this person is he just lost somebody.
Right.
I have to take that to consideration, and then I got to push away, and I got to get the facts.
Right.
And then I got to put it down, and I normally take a minute before I activate of what I want to do.
Right.
And I really feel like it's a good thing because it's a fairness.
Right.
I think anybody who works for me owes me nothing, but I owe them. for
Okay.
being there with me.
Yeah.
And let's walk this walk. And that way, when I talk to them, it's an encouraging talk. They feel encouraging because they know I got thought behind what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you as a person, not a number. Everybody else might see you as a number higher up, but to me, you're a person, and I'm gonna explain everything that I possibly can because I feel like that's what I owe you. So that's how I handle that.
Mhm.
Now,
That's good. That's good.
if
Jay.
you go to relationships, I wasn't all that great with empathy all the time because a lot of times I let my ego get in front of me, and my ego made me feel like I can do this, I can do that, and I wasn't sympathetic towards the person I was with. These are some of the reasons why my ass is single. And one of the reasons why I had to fix some things, okay?
Right.
Because I didn't want to stay single, but it was some of the things that I had to recognize that I wasn't good at. I was good at work, but I wasn't good at home. Let me tell you, if you can't get your home life right, you will wreck a business life.
Right.
Because they kind of coincide. They ain't all the same. And I ain't saying every practice I do at work, I got to do at home. I'm just saying I have to keep my mind right. And my whole thing is that whole thing right there holds a relationship a little bit better that I didn't think about.
Yeah.
And I thought about just being me because I was more selfish and had to get out of that because I had to show respect for the one I'm with. So I learned to be a different person because of the fact that I seen how I was responding on one thing and I wasn't responding that great to the other.
Right.
And it wasn't fair. And I do apologize to anybody I might have treated that way because, again, I changed and developed when I started seeing the hurt that I did.
Right.
That's not what I wanted. And how you make changes, change your own behavior instead of talking about somebody else's. Because I was just blaming. I was like, if you would just quit nagging me, I wouldn't be this way. I'd do anything I could to not show the empathy or sympathy or even really show that I'm really involved with that person. So again, eventually that person will see that I'm not really with them. So guess what? They're going to leave me.
Right.
If you keep wanting that in your life, then keep doing that. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that I was getting tired of. And I started changing some things. And I started gravitating to better people.
Yeah.
Not saying anything bad about the ones that was with me. I didn't recognize that at that time.
Yeah.
You got to fix some of your own voice when you start talking about relationships. A lot of times you want to talk from somebody else's standpoint and you don't want to talk about yours because you're embarrassed about some of the decisions you make. That's not what we do here. I talk about it from a hurt standpoint, for I don't hurt no more. Hurt people hurt people. I don't want to hurt nobody no more. I really feel like some of my own behavior need to be adjusted and looked at. Now, I'm not saying everybody is wrong. I'm just telling you I was. And I can stand on that. And that's why I changed some of the things that I do. Why? I wanted a better outcome.
Yeah.
You know, my kids is raised, been divorced for a minute and a half, but that doesn't mean I'm done.
Right.
I got a lot of stuff I got to accomplish. I got a lot of things in front of me, and respect and a lot of other words that I got for the woman that's for me is there with me. Just give me the opportunity. Quit judging me by a show and understand my work. Follow my work and quit judging me by what I just say. It's more than just what I say. See what I do. Follow my body of work.
Yeah.
Then you understand me better. But all you want to do is listen to me and judge me. That's the problem with people today. That's why we ain't got no empathy and sympathy. All they do is hear shit niggas and run with it.
Yeah.
I got to speak from a personal pain, but for a better game. But you got to understand my walk. But everybody's going to judge. But that's why everybody ain't sympathy, empathy, or anything else. They just judgmental. And that's what hurts me. Because you judge me and you don't know me. That's crazy. But I dress sharp. And you'll put me in one category, but then you hear my words and you put me in another. Get to know me and get to know a person before you do all that. I really feel like that's problematic in our society right now. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm going to jump out. Let you take this one.
All right. Boy, you had so many wonderful points, man. I just I couldn't even capture them all. They were so fantastic. But I'm going to start out right where you started out, Jay.
Okay.
In the area of empathy, we get caught up in our feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And empathy is your ability to understand the feelings of the person who you're talking to, the person who you're with, right?
Right.
That I can respond to them because I know they're hurting.
Right.
I can respond to them because I know they may be broke. I can respond to them because I can have empathy for their situation and for them as a people.
Right.
And sometimes our feelings will get in the way of the decisions that need to be made, whether it be in business or in your personal relationship. And I asked you the questions. I wrote a question here while you was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Really, you know, decisions are subject to feelings.
Yes.
Can we afford to have feelings in our business?
Mm.
How much empathy can you have for the people that you work with? I mean, at a certain point, there is a certain level of expectation that has to be achieved, right? Like, both people got to be satisfied in this expectation. And then at a certain point, one person or another is going to grow beyond, right?
Mhm.
And so, or, what I'm really getting after here is somebody know that they did something wrong.
Correct.
And how many times are you going to let them off the hook? How many times are you going to set your business back? How many times are you going to miss the mark? How many times is that going to happen before you say, hey, I got to get my feelings out of the equation? Listen, I would imagine every mother who's dealt with a problem child has had to say, you know what? I love my child, but I got to throw him out the house. Right?
Right.
This is what we're talking about. When it comes to there becomes a point where, hey, my feelings are getting in the way and my feelings are causing me to lose. My feelings are causing me not to do what I really need to do.
Right.
And so empathy is a good thing, but don't let it consume you to the point of your demise. When you start feeling sorry for people who are stealing from you, that's a problem. When you start trying to be, help people and they're taking from you, at a certain point you can't allow that to happen. You have to set your mark that, hey, my feelings doesn't matter anymore. Now I got to handle business. When you get to that point, what you will recognize if you pay attention to the situation,
right,
is that their feelings are already filed for you. Right? You're just now realizing it. And so with a child who may be, taken from a parent, the mother has to realize that, hey, the child don't give a shit anyway. Right?
Right.
Or that person, that roommate or that person, they didn't give a damn anyway. They've been taken, hurting, stealing, whatever. And so you've been empathetic for them in a situation, but your empathy has caused you to not see the whole truth. That's what I want to make. That's the point to be made here.
That is correct.
Don't let your feelings get in the way of a decision that needs to be made based on your mind. Every decision will be based from the mind.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can you afford to have that decision to be impacted by your heart? Can you afford to have that decision impacted by your feelings? And if you can afford to have that impacted by your feelings, God is listening. I believe that God is saying, aha, you can see. You can see that there's something wrong over here. There's something not right. And so what you're going to do is, rather than chastising and all of that stuff, you're just going to give in. God can see that. And you just say, I'm going to take the loss because I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to, have you ever been in that situation?
I've been in that situation more than once. And one of the things I can tell you,
you're in that situation all the time. I
kids and work.
And work.
Because
people around.
I don't want to replace you. I feel like you're valuable. I see something in you don't even see.
That you don't even see.
And I want that to come out for you could be a stronger person, but you too busy want to run around and do all this other stuff. Now, sooner or later, I'm going to have to make a decision on how long am I going to tolerate that. When I already see you're not doing the things that we need done.
Exactly.
You're missing the mark. And my whole thing is, you're right. I have to get out of my feelings because even though I see he has a lot in him that can add great value to the company.
Right.
Everybody don't see it and everybody's not going to achieve it. And then it's going to hurt other people that's on my staff.
Right.
So at that point, I have to make a harsh decision.
Right.
And I hate it.
You hate it,
but I have to do it.
But you have to do it. You don't have any choice, right? That's again where my heart is causing me loss. My heart is causing me self-demise because I won't do what I really need to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a tough place for all of us to be. But this is so powerful. I'm just gonna step aside, even inside of this conversation, Jay. This is how God works. We prayed that God would inspire us on this. In this conversation, we had planned to talk about empathy and encouragement.
Correct.
Notice how, as empathy, as it's like as we have high empathy for people, we also have high encouragement for them. But as we lose empathy for them, we also lose our strength to encourage them. And so what happens is we start losing our faith in them. And the more that happens, that faith just begins to dwindle till you're out of it. I have no more faith in you. I have no more faith that you're going to show up on time to work. I have no more faith that you're not going to bring up old shit from the past in our relationship. I have no more faith that you're not going to misspend money. I have no more faith that you're not going to tamper with stuff you're not supposed to. And when you get to that place, there is no empathy and no encouragement. So what God is showing us in this conversation is that they're on a parallel level.
Right.
How, you can't have no empathy for someone and try to encourage them on high. You can, but it'll come across fake. Right?
Oh, I'm hearing.
Right?
Oh, you talking.
I've met many salespeople who they're just not go-getters. They come into the dealership and they hang out all day and they don't make things happen, and they sit around and have, lovely conversations, and, excuse me, they won't pick up the phone and make 20 calls a day.
Right.
I'm like, okay, bro. Well, listen, I can't feel sorry for you not making a nice paycheck this month because you're not putting in the daily work, right? You will see, young man, every morning I come in and I get my follow-up work done. There's people I talked to yesterday and the day before and last month and last year. There's people to talk to. And if I'm not talking to them, I'm not doing business, right? And so if you're not talking to them, you're not going to make sales. So now I have no more empathy for you. And every time you come to me for encouragement, I'm going to tell you, make 20 calls a day. And until you make 20 calls a day, I have no more empathy for you. But when you make 20 calls a day, now I can start saying, hey, you can do this, and now you can do that, and then you can say this, and you maybe call in the morning, maybe you call at night, maybe you do send a text message, maybe send emails. Now I can encourage you because I can see you're trying. In fact, what it seems like is that we only can encourage people who we are empathetic for. Right?
I like that.
That's a pretty powerful
idea.
idea.
I like that.
It's a very powerful idea. And, we're going to separate the two, but God is really showing us how we can bring those two together, He
is. Because, again, you have it in you. We just don't always bring it together like that.
Yeah. I tell you another thing.
What's that?
My life's work is based on empathy. Right. Years and years ago, I started having this passion to help people, because I could see that it was only people's thinking that was getting in the way. They doubted themselves. They didn't put a plan together. They didn't have a real vision for themselves. They didn't believe in themselves. They didn't love themselves. I knew they always had the talent and the capability.
Correct.
Most people will have the talent and the capability, right, to get these things done, but they were always in their own way. And I saw it over and over and over. I've seen hundreds of master salespeople who got in their own way and couldn't produce results. I know their skill set was stronger than mine. I know they ask better questions than I do. I know they survey the customers better. I know they service the customers better. I know that they put deals together better than I do.
Right.
But they wouldn't do it.
Sorry to motivate.
They wouldn't do it. I've seen so many people with talents and gifts. And so I am very empathetic for people and their hurdles to get life done, because we're all dealing with the same stuff. It's either about working hard. It's about making good decisions. It's about loving yourself. It's about taking care of your health. Yep. It's the basics, right? But nobody's ever really taught people the true basics of life. We probably can say that even through our life and our educational system, that most people didn't even get half the knowledge. They're not even getting half the knowledge.
Right.
How can your parents give you knowledge that they don't have?
Mm.
Your parents don't know anything about setting a formal table and meeting with dignitaries. They don't know anything about that.
Right.
But that should be standard common knowledge for all of us, right? How to deal with those who have great empires and great impact in the world and have great influence. How do you carry yourself when you shake Obama's hand? Do you look him right in the eyes and you let him speak first? And there's all kinds of things that we do when we operate in great power and intelligence, And so there are people who just haven't been taught. There are people who haven't been taught that positive mental attitude should be your number one attitude all the days of your life. Right? That's why self-help is a $10 billion industry, because people are looking to learn that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. They're wanting to learn how to take care of themselves and how to take care of their minds. They've never learned that. So I'm empathetic for that. That's my only point here. It's my entire purpose in life is to satisfy people who I think have a need who have a desire to experience greatness and just don't know how.
Right.
That's what I do. And so, in terms of encouragement, ultimately, those people who seek help,
mm-hmm.
they're going to get the greatest encouragement that I can possibly give them. Right? If you really want to be better, mm-hmm. and you really want to invest in yourself, and you really want to grow, Minecraft is the place to be.
I would agree.
You see what I mean? But if you lollygagging, you're probably not going to get to Minecraft, right? Because Minecraft is producing core, meaningful wisdom ideas every single day in social media. If you take 2 minutes and you go get a little bit of that wisdom every day, right. You're seeking, and what you come to seek for, I'm going to have some fruit for you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're seeking to get rid of your frustration, when you come to Minecraft, you're going to find something that alleviates your frustration. Mm-hmm. Something that gives you wisdom to overcome the frustration, right? And so, you're not going to be encouraged, folks, until you take steps of encouragement. If you're going to start a business, you got to go down there and get the paperwork done. You got to go get the license. You got to start the business. You got to get the website. You got to hire somebody. You got to start having the conversation. You got to start researching. You got to start making things happen. And if you don't, then there really is going to never be anyone in your corner who can help you, because the help is at the place where you don't know. Mm. When you get down to the tax office, the lady's going to give you she's going to whisper underneath the counter, all you got to do is do this, do that, do that. And she doesn't save you years of trouble. Right. She doesn't help you get right on your tax. She doesn't help you get legal, all in moments. But you would have never got that knowledge if you hadn't have been down at that office.
And taking steps.
You're not going to get that knowledge until you're not going to get salespeople. You're not going to get the knowledge of a master salesperson unless you seek master salespeople. And you seek the wisdom of being a master salesperson. It's not going to happen. But when you get there, when you seek it, the encouragement will be waiting on you.
Yes, it will.
We can't live on the sidelines in our lives. We all are aware. Most of us are not aware. Let me just change that. Mm. But we know where we want to grow. We know where we can grow in our lives. We can look at ourselves and take some self-diagnosis, some self-analysis, and say, you know what? For 20 years, I've been late to like half the meetings. Oh. Or for 20 years, I've been like paycheck to paycheck. And I just don't want to be paycheck to paycheck anymore. I really want to get out of this situation. I want to get to a place where I can have some financial freedom. Mm-hmm. And so now you start seeking for financial freedom, you'll start finding answers for financial freedom. Mm-hmm. And when you start seeking, there will be someone right there to encourage you. Mm-hmm. Encouragement goes with people who are seeking, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to walk up to you and just start pouring into you if I hadn't heard that you're trying to start a business.
Thank you.
Why would I do that, right? And so, I'm just trying to build a puzzle here in my mind. It sounds like the doorway of encouragement almost never opens until one is seeking.
Yes, because I like to say, that's the number one way of I want to to let you know I heard you.
Right.
And when you tell me what you're trying to do. So I tend to remind you when I talk to you again.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Now, people pick with other folks and say things that's not encouraging at all. How's that little thing you got going? All that little slide talk.
Right.
I'm really trying to encourage you by asking you what plans and where are you at? Because I know it's not easy. But if you don't keep it in front of you, you don't write it down and you don't start trying to push it towards it, it tends to slip away.
Yes.
I feel like you might have a great idea. Only way it's going to happen is when you put motivation behind it. That's your drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I try to do is feed your drive.
Right.
I got a friend that want to do a tow truck company. How's that coming along? I'm trying to hold off on this and that. They're counting me. I'll be like, bro, you got to hit, period.
Right.
Because if you don't, you can always refinance.
Right.
But you got to find the spot. You got to do your due diligence. You know, I got somebody want to do a sub shop. Okay, you gonna do a sub shop. What are you gonna do? What location? You gotta find something. There's a lot you could do before you actually do all the rest.
Exactly.
But put the motivation out there.
Right.
I'm trying to push you to your greatest.
Right.
Not saying you have to do anything. I'm just encouraging off of what you say.
Right.
Just say it. Speak it out. And a lot of people say, don't tell nobody your dreams. Understand everybody ain't a dream killer.
Right.
I'm not trying to kill no one's dream. Yours is yours.
Right.
I want you to be successful because then you ain't borrowing no money from me. So if I can help you be great, we gonna be a great duel.
Yeah.
And friends. That's what I would love compared to a person that's hurting. They always say if you teach a person how to fish, they can feed themselves.
Yeah.
That's where I really feel the encouragement comes from. To allow somebody to be strong on their own standpoint, not just mine.
Yeah.
Not feeding off of me. I can only do so much.
Yeah.
And I want to get fed too.
Yeah. And listen, and our producer Booby here in the studio was attempting to share an idea in this whole scheme, and I think it's a perfect time for it, Booby. He was talking about, I think, let me match what I think with what he brought up.
Okay.
There comes a point where the people who you're dealing with, they have zero empathy for you.
Mm.
They don't give a shit about you. They don't care. They're not going to encourage you. Even if they could encourage you, they're not going to, because they're haters. Because they don't want to see you do good. They want to see you hurt. They want to see you behind them. They want to see you struggling. They want to see you with not enough. They want to see you in pain. And there comes a place in your life where you're going to have to do something with those people.
Correct.
And the question he was asking tonight is, how do you manage those people? What do you do with people, with haters, and you know they're a hater? It could be your own brother. It could be your own coworker. It could be your neighbor. It could be anybody. How do you deal with this people who don't give a shit about you?
I push them out my inner circle.
You push them out your inner
You have
circle.
to recognize them
That's right.
by words and actions.
That's right.
They don't make it to no event. They barely ever support you.
That's
They're
right.
not there for you, but they say they are.
Right.
They're usually begging.
Right.
Because most haters like to beg to get to where they can't get to. And they look at you because you get to be successful in their eye, not to ours, because our eye is on a bigger prize.
Right.
But theirs is on a simple prize, and they just want the simple stuff that you have.
Right.
And they don't want to work to get it.
Right.
Listen, only thing I can do is you got to be pushed away from me. Why? You're drawing my energy for no good damn reason. You're not adding no value to nobody I'm around. Let me tell you, it hurts to know I love someone and they ain't contributing and doing shit for me.
That's right.
It's no different than my own child. Love them to death.
Yeah.
When I keep seeing you going down rocky roads, you ain't taking your daddy with it. It's called choices.
Right.
And one thing I can do is tell you I encourage you and I love you.
Yeah.
But one thing I can tell you, I don't have to like all the shit you do.
Right.
I love you. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, just know daddy outside that bad boy because I've been there.
Listen, and let me tell you what's so important about that, what you just said, Jay, is that you have to realize that if we're going to be a team, then you have to realize that what you do impacts me.
Mm-hmm.
And if we start going on this road and you keep showing me over and over and over again that you don't care about what you do and you don't care about how what you do impacts me, right? Once you do that several times, I have to let you go. I can't afford heart, money. I can't afford to let you put me at risk anymore.
Makes sense to me.
So now I have to isolate myself. The point here is that when you're around people who don't care about you and who have no encouragement from you, you have to isolate yourself from those negative people. And the first point of isolation is in the mind. And let me give you an example. Every one of us have been in a relationship, and in that relationship, we realized it wasn't working.
Right.
We realized it just wasn't going right. Okay. One day, at a very certain and particular point, you decide that this relationship is going nowhere, and now I'm going to start taking myself away from this relationship. And there's going to be a certain point where you be like, you know what? I used to bring home dinner, but I ain't bring home dinner no more. I used to, offer to help with this, but I ain't offering to help no more. And so what happened? You start withdrawing from those people. That's a good thing, right? You don't have to tell them that you withdraw from them when you decide within yourself that you're going to withdraw from them. Just because you withdraw from them, you don't have to tell them that. They don't need to know that. In fact, you are in a power setting. You're in a power move if you make the move and they are unaware, right? You're less likely to get hurt. You're less likely to get vulnerable in those particular situations. So the isolation has to start in the mind, and what you have to do is to start taking yourself back from the relationship, right? And that's the turning point. I want everybody, who's listening tonight to this show to capture that, because, everything is temporal, right? And, everything is for its reason and a season. And so what happens is we get stuck in these seasons for too long. We get stuck in these seasons. It just, we should have broke up with them last year. But we didn't start taking ourselves back. We kept pouring in and pouring in and pouring in, knowing that they don't give a shit about us, knowing that they don't care about our feelings. They don't have any empathy for us. They don't have any encouragement for us. They're not trying to bring us up. We know that stuff, but yet we keep pouring in. The point here is to stop pouring in when you are aware that your pouring is in vain. Stop pouring in when you know that there's no gravy coming out of this.
I've been there.
Take yourself back and isolate yourself from the negativity. That's not easy, but if you take the time to take care of your own mind first, then when you break the news, you might have an opportunity to take care of their mind, or just turn around and not give a shit at all, right? Because there's sometimes you're just going to have to walk away because, they're not going to understand it. They're not going to like it. It's just the way it happens.
I will let you know all day long, man. It's one of the reasons it's a hard decision. I get it. But when I told you about that healing, one of the things about healing and what keeps you from being in that position all the time is when you're not scared to be alone. I got to a point, I had to heal myself to realize I'm tolerating shit that I don't have to, shit never done in the first place. I did it because I was scared to be alone.
Yeah.
When I realized being alone ain't that bad. Me and my God is doing marvelous.
Yes.
I am getting a relationship with him. And then now at this point, I'm moving in a different way.
Right.
So now I'm not tolerating that.
Right.
You're not going to suck me dry. You're not going to not add no damn value to me. You're going to be behind me just because I don't tolerate what I used to. Now, some would say, well, you're a different person. You're damn right.
Listen, what you just did was take yourself back.
Correct.
You just had 5 statements right there. You know what? I'm not, I don't need this.
Nope.
My God and I are taking care of this thing. You know what? I'm not going to be treated that way.
Nope.
I deserve better than this. I'm going to have better than this. Why am I wasting my time with this? And they said, you hear that? The consciousness, the conscious elevation of thoughts, continue to do that. When you feel, when you get to this place where it's time for a change and a shift, just keep talking yourself into it, right? Pull yourself. That's how you isolate yourself, really. That's the first ways to isolate yourself, is to realize that I got to go a different direction, and why I need to go a different direction, what direction I'm going to go, how is it going to look, what do I need to say, what do I need to think, how do I need to start doing my affairs? At those very moments, you are taking yourself away from that nonsensical scenario.
I'm telling you, one of the next blessings I got is you. Because sometimes you got to talk it through with a person that has a good mindset.
Right.
That's not judgmental. See, that's another thing you got to have. You got to have a closeness with somebody. Since you're pushing people away, also have a closeness. Have a small group of people. You don't put everybody on all your business, but sometimes you got to talk to them and be like, yo, I'm dealing with this, man, and it's kind of puzzling me. And one thing I bring to Craft, and I talk to him, he never make a decision for me, but he said, I don't know if you're really going to be able to deal with that for a long time. Is that something you thought about? Then it makes you think about it. So now I have another way of looking at it. So then I can go back and attack that issue with a different mindset than just the feeling one that I was in.
Right.
So now I'm like, yo, after hearing some advice, I'm willing to change my way of thinking to be more open.
Yeah, and what I heard in that, Jay, and this is for all of us who consider ourselves. Excuse me.
Remember?
Yes. This is for all of us who consider ourselves high performers.
Okay.
That our empathy and encouragement levels are very different.
Mm-hmm.
We're okay with constructive criticism. We don't care about feelings. Give us the truth. Tell us, hit us between the eyes. Give me the encouragement. Give me the encouragement. Tell me you didn't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't care. When high performers are not soft inside. You can turn the screws tight so you can correct them. You see, they say that only a fool hates correction.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Correction is good. I want to know where I'm wrong. I want to know how I look in that screen. I want to know what people got to say about what I'm saying. I want to know what they think or what I'm not doing right and what I'm doing wrong. I'm good with that.
Correct.
High performers like that because that's how excellence is brought to its forefront. That's how excellence produces great fruit in people's lives. It produces money, it produces success, it produces fame and celebrityism, and it produces greatness, right?
Right.
It produces greatness. And believe me, the greats, I always think about people like Einstein. And I realized that the second half of Einstein's career was riddled with ridicule.
Mm.
Like, he had created up so much stirred about so many magnificent ideas, and these people come in 10, 20 years later and want to contest his ideas.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
And so, he couldn't let his emotions, if he did, he would have just stopped researching. He would have stopped trying to produce these outcomes that he was trying to produce. He would have let the haters get the best of him.
Yep.
So, when you are going to be a high performer, when you are going to be a mass producer of anything in life, you should know that the haters and the heat is coming.
Okay.
You should know that there is also great criticism that can be taken from your haters.
Okay.
There can be great lessons that you learn from people who are coming against you, right? Stand in the gap, just like the tree. The tree just said, I'm going to catch all the water I can with these leaves, right? Catch all the water you can. What ain't right for you, let it roll off your back. What's right for you, absorb it in and make it a part of your spirit and make it a part of your character, make it a part of your life. Because these people are telling you how to win.
That's right.
They're telling you how to beat them. They're telling you how to overcome the nonsense that's potentially facing you. And if you listen, you'll win every time.
Man, let me tell you,
Every time.
That is when I know you're going in the right direction. When you get good advice and then you start implementing it.
Yeah.
And you start doing it. And again, one of the things I got to tell you, it's your formula.
Yes.
When I hear things and Craft talks to me, he talks to me in a way that I can understand to figure out what I need to do.
Yes.
The number one thing, don't lose yourself for someone else. Understand that for you to be a stronger person, to make your equation, to make better decisions.
Right.
And I really feel like we got it all. I don't feel like we ever going to get it all. But it's helpful when you got somebody that cares for you.
Yes.
That's willing to share with you. And I'm telling you, it's the same with a committed partner.
Yeah.
You have to have that empathy and that encouragement to be able to listen.
Yeah,
But you don't get in your feelings to feel like she's just dictating you.
that's right.
Y'all both should be on the path, and that should be a course of a decision
That's
that
right.
y'all make.
That's right.
And that's why y'all shouldn't take all outside advice, because y'all two are making that pack.
That's right.
And y'all need to know that pack, but just be understanding.
That's
Everybody's not a hater.
That's
Some
right.
people can push you to some wisdom, and that's why I said
Yeah.
encouragement and therapy. Some of this stuff can be very helpful.
Yeah.
But truthfully, you got to get back in yourself.
Yeah.
Know
You know-
your self-love.
Yeah, there are times when you try to encourage someone, and they're taking the encouragement the wrong way,
Yeah.
right? They're taking the encouragement to a degree that it hurts their feelings, right? And you're not trying to hurt their feelings. You're actually very empathetic to their feelings, but you're trying to encourage them.
I had that happen recently.
You know?
I had a person say, because I just had a baby, I can't get out, I can't do this. And I said, what would you like to do? I like to do hair. I said, well, do hair at your house.
Yeah.
You're like, but I got a newborn baby. I said, well, you might have to get a sitter, but you don't just want to get a sitter. You want a person that can just watch you and train with you, and you can start your own business right there at home.
Yeah.
While you're taking care of your kids, and you can still do some things. Now, how well she do hair and whatnot, my whole thing was a motivation because what she said, what she can do. My whole thing is to motivate you by what you can, because considering you saying what you can't.
Right.
I can't get out here, I can't do this, but there's some things you can. So if I push you that direction, that will better you.
Right.
Well, to her, no, you just hard on me. You want me to do something. No, I just want you to be a better person.
Right.
Because asking somebody for something is gonna lead you down a rabbit hole.
Right.
And they're gonna want some things, and it's not gonna lead you where you want to be. I want you to be the powerful person that you say you are. If
Yeah.
that's what you love to do,
Yeah.
get into what you love. Because I promise you, just getting a job is gonna get boring, and you're probably gonna quit. Why? Because everybody gets sick of working for somebody.
Yeah.
But when you do something you love, you tend to do it. I promise you, my attendance record was great because I really loved what I was doing.
Right.
Can't just say I just loved it all. It was a job,
Mhm.
but it was one that I respected, and I was showing up because I know how it is not to.
Right.
So that's what I look at motivation about. And that's why I do encouraging things to people to tell me what they want to do. Like I told you, the one wanted to do the tow truck, one wanted to do the sub shop. Now I'm just telling you about another person told me they wanted to do hair.
Right.
I feel like that's the greatest conversation to have with a person compared to the rhetoric of what's the media saying or what's on Facebook, what's on your mind
There you go.
to be challenging and strong. And that way I can sit back later on. And she did call me back later and she said, you was just hard on me and I didn't see it that way. But you know something? I'm starting to look in that direction. Just be open to a change that can be a positive thing for you.
There you go.
It's better instead of just listening to things as criticize.
There you go. There
That's
you
all.
go. Listen, I think we have really done this subject some justice. And
Okay.
so this has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed our program. We hope you've learned something. We hope you've made some good, clear, and cut decisions and been able to see yourself through our dialogue here tonight. We're here every Thursday
Mhm.
from Facebook Live from 7 to 8. And we're on every major platform. Just type in Bar Talk with Jay
Mhm.
and choose the platform you want to come and join us. Share with all your friends, family, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, and continue to come back and listen to some of this great wisdom. Never forget, folks, that we love you. We appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.